Welcome back to Whitt Acres. Today we're going to be working on Burt's house again, trying to get some door latches on. What's going on, bud? You protecting Dizzy? Good boy, puppy. Yeah, good boy. What are you thinking, Dizzy? I almost have Burt's house done. It's almost time for you to move out. I know. It's been a week since I told you were moving out. Are you ready to work, puppy? We got things to do, bud. Come on. Yeah. There you go, Rufio. You can have her back. Go ahead, keep an eye on Dizzy. Come on, puppy. I said work, not play. Got all the ladies already all spread out through the field. Ducks are puddling. And you'll probably see some other videos before this one, but I posted a short asking for a good name for the male duck over here. We have one male duck in the whole flock. And I've asked for a name and you guys came through with a really good name, Duke. And since he's a silver Appleyard breed, we're gonna go with Duke Silver for his full name. That's also the alter ego of if you know, you know. Come on, bud, bring your cube. All right, so I've been gathering materials up here for Burt's house. I think I should be able to get them to move in today. I don't know if I'll move them in today. I might finish later on, but I think I should have the house ready by the time I'm done. So I need to hook up a pulley to the front door with a chain that comes out of the run. I need to secure this run with this tighter wire mesh here. We have a nice 1/2 inch square mesh. I'm gonna use this mesh around all the sides here around the chicken run. And I also need to get the tarp strapped onto that as well. At that point, I can pretty much move the chickens inside. You guys haven't seen the perches yet, so I'll open this up. It was dark whenever we finished the perches. I couldn't even show you. And my phone was also dying, so I couldn't use a flash. But we can open this up, stand on the little porch here. And don't mind these boards for now. That was just some dry measuring for the nesting boxes that I'm going to be putting in. Well, you can see the perches I was able to get in here. We have some high perches up there, and we have a row of lower perches. And then we have a perch right here, which is going to be the front of the nesting boxes to give them easy access to jump in and out. And then I even threw a little perch right there by the door to give them an easier in and out as well. Let me try and get a good angle. You should be able to tell what we're working with here. And all of these perches were made from fallen branches from the silver maple we have on the property. I did end up having to buy something for this house, and that is this flooring. It looks really good in here though. This is really going to help the pallet underneath from rotting out and make clean outs a lot easier. And I do still want to cut a circle out of that A-frame up there so they have a vent on both sides. So we have a few things to do here today before we're able to move Burt and the snowballs in. I'm going to focus on getting the pulley mounted for this door and then work on the chicken run and getting that safe. I can always build the nesting boxes after the chickens move in. So I have a few things here to make my pulley system. I have the pulley, of course, that I got from my grandma's farm. It still works. It spins like it should. And there's really not a lot of resistance with this chain going through. This is actually a chain that my grandpa had a spool of before he passed away. And same with a bunch of these new eye hooks and other hardware that he had. I was able to save a lot of this stuff. So it's really nice to have this stuff to use for my projects, but it's also nice to extend the life of what my grandpa had. And I was lucky enough to have grandparents that had farms on both sides of my family, so I was able to get a lot of different things. Plus my dad's been saving a lot of material over the years, like all this metal you see, and then I was able to source all the pallets. So I guess even though I'm doing mostly everything, it's a family effort. But I just need to drill some holes and put in some eye hooks, and then we can run the chain and hook up the pulley. It's really simple. All right, I got the pulley system set up. Like I said, it was pretty simple. All I did was put an eye hook here for the pulley to hang on. I have an eye hook here in the door for the chain to grab onto, and an eye hook up here to pull the chain through so it lines up with the outside. And then down here I put another hook so I'll be able to keep the door open. Let's pop it off of that hook, let the door close, and then I can just easily pull the door open. And easily, no problem, not even a little fuss, lock it into place. There we go. There are a couple spots that the screws poke through the wood, so there's some sharp points here. So before the chickens go in there, I'm gonna take the grinder and knock all those points off. And then for all this to operate and the chickens to get in and out of the building, I'm gonna have to cut a hole in the back of the wall of the chicken wire here. So I'm gonna move the run closer to the building, get an idea of where that's gonna be. And then I'm gonna work on getting the mesh attached. Looks pretty good. Alright, well I have the mesh all the way around there. It's not fully secured at the bottom, but I have it tacked up around all the corners. It was a little taller than the actual structure, so I was able to get a couple inches as a flap here to keep things from digging in. I'm using metal twist ties that you usually use on concrete supports. They work well for going around various sizes of pipe. I also used it around the fencing on the goat hut and all those different sizes of pipe. We have some beautiful bird song going on out here. Echo pup just sniffing the wind. But at this point I can now cut the chicken wire on the back to fit the doorway here. I had to cut it out around the latch here so he could still open the door. Oh, I might need to cut out another square. Yeah, let me cut out that other square here. That'll make it easier. But now I need to figure out how much I need to cut out of the back here to accommodate the door. Alright, well I had to charge my phone up and I let Mumbles out to swim while I was doing that, but now we're back up here. I need a way to latch this door at night so nothing can open it up. It's inside the run, but I still want to give it a little bit extra protection. So I have these two eye hooks here I'm going to line up on the building. And then I have a length of metal over there that I'm just going to send through the eyelets and it'll hold the door shut. Alright, as you see I put in two eyelets here and this rod here just slides in front of the door. It'll just stay there so you can't get the door open anymore. And then I can just pull it out, let it drop, and now the door opens again. Echo, I think I just made magic. Alright, he doesn't care. But I think this is going to work out just fine. I mean, looking at it now, it's probably the same way anybody else would have done it. And I was also planning on attaching the run to the house with conduit clamps, but I talked to my dad and I think the easier way to do this is going to be putting a ratchet strap on the bottom going around the whole building and to the other side, and then I can ratchet that in nice and tight. And then I'm going to also attach the top to the A-frame. But now that that door is all set up on the pulley, we can slide this into place and it doesn't have to move anymore. I'm going to be going around putting a lot more wire twist ties on this as well, holding that wire mesh in place. I might end up painting that wire mesh black whenever the weather starts warming up, but right now I'm just trying to get it on, and then later on I can work on more of the aesthetics. And if you're wondering where this rod came from, this rod is one of those rods you slide in all the handles of a filing cabinet to keep them all from opening. My dad's dad had a lot of filing cabinets. My brother threw a lot of them away, but I was able to save some things, so it's getting a new purpose now. Oh, we got a burning sunset happening over there. Lights almost out. So I think we really are ready to put the birds in here. We don't need to have the nesting boxes in right away, but that's the only thing I have to build. I just have to throw in a bedding of hay in there. The house is pretty much ready to go except for the nesting boxes and the vent windows. This wire mesh, like I said, needs tightened up. I did take the excess down to the bottom so it overlaps the ground a little bit here and keeps anything from digging in as much. But the little 5-inch stakes that came with this to hold it in the ground are not going to work very well, so I'm going to have to drill out that hole a little bit bigger and use one of my tent stakes that I have and pound it into the ground and put a little bit more security on it. This thing's really not the strongest. It's actually pretty flimsy. If a big dog wanted to get in here, he probably could, so I want to try and secure the bottom the best I can. We don't have to worry about you, huh, Pop? And then I have that tarp that goes on top here that I probably will put on. I don't think it'll take away too much from the look of the house, but it might a little bit. I don't know. We'll have to see. So I think after a few finishing touches here on the run and the house, I'll be able to gather up Burt and his 10 snowballs and introduce them into their new home. So there is 10 snowballs and Burt. I counted them again today. A while back I did a count on my animals and I didn't find all 10 of my snowballs. I only found 9 of them and I couldn't remember if I had 10 including Burt or 10 not including Burt. But it is 10 hens and Burt the rooster. I don't usually like to put my animals in cages like this, but 9 birds in this area is going to be just fine. And it's only going to be temporary as well. They're on the homestead here, which means they have a job. They're not just pets, they are working animals. And their job is going to be creating some purebred light Brahma eggs. So Burt and the snowballs are going to go in here for a good month before they're going to have purebred eggs that I can make sure that they don't have any genes from Sammy or Rufio. And then I can either sell the fertilized light Brahma eggs or hatch them out as little baby light Brahmas and sell the chickens. They're only going to be laying as many eggs as they want. I don't put any artificial light in there and I don't give them anything to lay more eggs. But I do need to separate them from the rest of the flock in here so I can get the right breed when hatching the eggs. I'm also going to want to hatch out duck eggs. I don't know if I'm going to do that at the same time as Burt and the snowballs, but I'm probably going to have to use this for the ducks as well to keep them separated from the other ducks. But I only have 1 male duck, so I really don't have to worry about cross-contamination. I just have to worry about finding the correct eggs from the right girls. But that'll be later on, and I think I'm about done with this video here. We're just a few steps away from moving Burt and the snowballs in. What'd you see, Pop? What are you looking at? Alright, you keep an eye out. That's going to be all for this one. If you want to keep following along with everything here at Whitt Acres, make sure to subscribe down below. Hit that bell so you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. If you like the video, make sure to hit the like button before you leave, and you can see me and Echo on the next one. Thanks for watching.